Hello and welcome to Take 5. I am here with Dr. Tom Sisk, Limestone County Schools Superintendent, and we are talking about different events taking place at the schools. And today, I think I want to ask you, why do you test everyone so much?
Golly, that's a great question. It seems like we have two seasons, football season and test season.
Exactly.
But truthfully, there's a couple different kinds of tests, and why we give them, I think it's important for people to keep in mind that we don't just test for testing's sake.
Oh, that's good.
The first reason we really test is to guide instruction. I think it's important for people to understand that teachers need to assess so that they can determine the duration of instruction. Do we need to remediate instruction? Can we move forward? How much do they know? We also test for mastery. And so examples of those formative types of evaluations might include DIBELS testing, Global Scholars. We'll do those kinds of tests to try to get children on track, keep them focused on their learning. We, of course, do non-standardized tests where teachers create their own test and again, judge assessment, and it gives the teachers a scope of the work to work from.
Standards are very important, and this keeps them on a good level. Absolutely.
We need to make sure that a child masters the previous skill set before we go to the next skill set. Okay. We don't want to set them up for failure, and so we want to make sure that they've mastered that level. And then the next type of test that we move into are for evaluative purposes. The state gives us tests, the federal government gives us tests. Some examples of those summative forms of testing include the ACT Aspire, the ACT Work Keys, and the ACT. These are typically given once a year, whereas the formative and guiding tests may be given 2 or 3 times a year. And these tests are the more rigorous, stand, deliver, very formative. They don't get the test until that morning. It's very rigorous, it's very specific and very structured. We do those once a year. The ACT Aspire is given in grades 3 through 8 in reading, and math is given in grades 5 and 7. And so these evaluations are comparisons not only of the child against themselves, but against the child in the grade level. Have we done a good job of preparing the child to grade 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Are they ready to go to the next level? And then how do we compare against other students in other school systems? And so a lot of emphasis lately has been placed upon school-to-school competition. I would like to remind parents the real reason that we evaluate is to determine where your child is at so we can meet your child's individual needs. That's the most important thing for us. But now again, there are other examples of testing. There are some special use tests that are sometimes included in there. Examples of that would be the ELL, or English as a Second Language test. In these special situations, or maybe children that need to have special programs, these tests, again, drill down into specific content areas or specific skill areas that they may lack proficiency in, and we want to give them the assistance that they need so that they are successful. These special use tests are not necessarily given on any schedule per se. They are generated based upon the individual need of the student, and that's very important for us too. And so as you look at it, we have guiding tests that guide instruction. They're given regularly. You have an evaluation or summative tests that are given yearly, and then you see special use tests that are given on an individual basis, that are given on a special need basis. So in summary, all tests that we give have a purpose. We don't just test to be testing. It's either to guide or evaluate instruction. Some tests give teachers specific information to guide their lessons, and other tests are just a snapshot of where we are at a given time. And then over the year, we review that. And the federal government looks at that when they look at annual yearly progress. They look at that when they determine if a school's effective or not. So there's some value there as well. But I want our parents to understand that when there are nights that we're going to give a test, we send out notices. We want to make sure that your child is prepared to take that test. Please be sure that they get a good night's rest before, that they have a healthy breakfast that morning, that they come to school prepared to take those tests so that they do the best job that they can do. And so I hope I've explained to you why we test.
They may not like it right now, but when they're at the right level and they're excelling at the time of graduation, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Dr. Sisk, thank you so much for bringing those questions to our attention and answering those questions. questions for us.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too. This has been another edition of Take 5. We'll see you next time.